So basically, I wanted to start by paying homage to one of the best TV shows ever created, iCarly. Absolute fucking banger of a show. If you don't know what it is, I don't know why the fuck you clicked on this video, but I kind of wanted to draw some parallels between iCarly and the modern content. I've turned full fake intellectual when I'm using my hands like this. Um, I believe the term's called a pseudo intellectual, where you're like trying so hard to sound fucking smart. I wanted to draw some parallels between iCarly and the modern social media landscape and the paradoxical concepts that kind of arise when you think about the show itself. I wrote down a few different things here, so pardon me for just looking down at my notes. I wanted to make this video a bit more organized. But I do want to say iCarly or Miranda Cosgrove or whatever, that show was one of the things that inspired me to be a YouTuber. It didn't give me the idea to do it, but it kind of validated something that I had inside of me where I saw that and I was like, nah, that's fucking lit. So the first concept, I titled it here, the overnight success paradox, where Carly and friends made it seem as though you just get fucking lit overnight. You turn that webcam on, that live stream, and you just have thousands of fans just on go. They really just turned that bitch on. Freddie had the camera and they were famous all of a sudden at school. Like, unfortunately, that does not really happen. Like, one piece of content, one live stream is not going to make you famous. In fact, it's probably going to take you much longer than you could possibly imagine to actually get to where you think you want to go. To hit a certain milestone, it's going to take you probably more work than you think. And it's going to be at a timeline that you did not expect either. And the way Freddie just automatically had this big ass camera out of fucking nowhere. How old was he? Like 11 or 12 or 13 or some shit? Where the fuck did he get that camera? Now, granted, it's TV, obviously, but in the real world, you gotta skip some meals, post for a year and a half, and then you can afford the bigger, nicer camera. Like, Freddie just had that bitch on go. You're not gonna be the technology camera expert, on-screen, charismatic thing. It's gonna take you a while to get into a rhythm and like get into that zone. And I got a bank notification. I just got a wire. I'm making money as we fucking speak. Goddamn. The second concept I want to speak about is how the internet changed from then till now. Obviously, there's been many changes. But what I find interesting is back then, when it came to like YouTube and stuff like that, there even was live streaming. I don't know if you remember YouNow, lit ass live streaming website. Like YouNow was the Twitch of today. It was crazy. Back then, the internet was basically a place for you to express your real self or express that fun side of you. The internet basically helped you be more expressive. Nowadays, because of the internet, people feel more pressured to conform to something. People are looking at the internet to tell them who to be. People feel pressured to like become someone else or become some sort of thing. The internet has effectively become people's compass on who to be, what to like, what's lame, what's in, what's cool, how should you act, how should you dress, here's how you should talk. And whereas before in the iCarly era, it was like, here's your chance to be different from everyone. Here's your outlet to be creative and wild. And now it's turned into the very thing that will stifle who you really are. Because you feel like you got to conform to what the internet has decided is cool and in. This third, I don't know. I don't even know what the word paradox even really means, if I'm being fucking honest. I just think it sounds cool. But my third paradox is how back then, iCarly was just the one chick at her school. Well, were they in fucking middle school? What fucking school were they at? Like, people being famous wasn't as popular, but Back then there was iCarly. Now everyone wants to be Carly. Like, y'all seen the streaming university and shit, good for them. Every fucking person has their own web show and is all web showing each other at the same time. And I'm not moralizing it and saying whether it's good or bad or, oh, we need to go back to how things were back in 2008 and we only need one person to be famous. I'm not saying that. In fact, it's better that things have been diversified. But I just think it's so interesting when everyone wants to be famous. It's like, if everyone's famous, well, then no one's famous. And you feel that too. It's like, this one person is mega famous in this area and has a bunch of fans, but you've never even seen them before, but they got 20 million followers. This live streamer is the hottest thing. You've never even heard of them. They've never even come on your page. Your friend's like, oh, have you seen this video? Have you seen this person? They're so popular. And I'm like, I've never seen that clip in my life. I don't even know who that is. The internet is so fractured now, and everyone's a micro celebrity, and it lost, like, the magic of iCarly has been lost in today's like jungle that is the internet and everyone trying to be famous. Everyone used to watch stars and now everyone wants to be a star. And it just makes it difficult because back then there was like the agreed upon celebrities and the agreed upon figures and YouTubers that everyone knew, like, oh, that's a famous YouTuber. Now everyone's fucking famous, which makes being famous hold a lot less weight. So I don't know exactly what I'm getting at with that point. I'm more just making an observation and talking about how interesting it is. Yeah, back then, if you got 10 million views, you were famous. Nowadays, you can get a video that gets 10 million views. Brother, you are not famous, brother. That is not going to give you a loyal audience. It might give you 2,000 followers, and them 2,000 don't even give a fuck about you. Maybe one person out of the 2,000, like, is a fan. Number 4, I wrote this down as the freedom paradox, which is basically, in iCarly, they made being a creator feel like this ultimate freedom. Like, they made it seem like the coolest job ever, where you got to be super free, and it's this creative just atmosphere, this creative playground where it's just all fun and peaches and cream and butterflies and happiness. Whereas in reality, the bigger you get, the less freedom you have in a way, because then your audience starts to want certain things from you or demand certain things, or they have certain expectations of you, which if you don't meet, they fucking eat you alive. It's like, oh, I want to put out videos and do this and talk about this concept. And then you're in charge of what you put out and you're in charge of the upload schedule until the upload schedule is in charge of you. And you're a fucking slave to, gotta post every Monday. Fuck, I don't have any ideas. Like, so then it becomes one of the least freeing things you could possibly do. I wouldn't trade anything for the job I have, but I like drawing the comparisons to iCarly because I think some people still think this shit is iCarly and it ain't. Like, this shit ain't sweet a lot of times. Like, in iCarly, they never cut to Carly sitting there after the 4-hour live stream and being like, fuck, I'm fucking depressed. I don't know what to fucking do anymore. Like, and then she's burned out for 2 weeks being like, I fucking can't do it. I'm like in my head too much. I can't sleep. I'm having panic attacks. They didn't show that episode. I did not see that episode. Maybe they did have one of those. I missed it. 5, here I have the confidence paradox. And basically, Carly and friends made it seem as though they were kind of already bubbly, confident kids. So then they put that out there. When in reality, usually you have to, I'll put it like this. People feel like you have to be confident to post, but really you have to post in order to become confident. It can feel really scary putting your art out, putting your content and whatever out. But you have to put it out to then become the type of person who's confident and does that all the time. So when you're like waiting for like, oh, I'm just trying to feel a little better about my art, you ain't gonna feel better until you actually put the shit out there. Realize you're not gonna realize it's not the end of the world, and then you're like, okay, let me post again and again and again, and then 4 years go by and you're a seasoned veteran who has actual real confidence. And to kind of wrap it up here, I just wrote down here identity and how I think a lot of people, whether they're content creators or even just people in general, their identity that they've given themselves can really hold them back sometimes. Sometimes other people label you with an identity and you want to break free from that. But sometimes you give yourself an identity and you assume, oh, I can't do that. I can't put out a YouTube video. I'm not a YouTuber. I'm only a mechanic. I don't know anything about computers. Or, oh, I can't live stream. I'm not a live streamer. But really, that's just you telling yourself something about your identity, which isn't necessarily true. It's just a thought you have. Oh, I can't do that because this. Oh, I'm a morning person, so I can't do that. It's like, that's just a label you've given yourself. You've just labeled yourself as, I've identified as, this is the type of person I am. You can be whatever the fuck you want to be at any given moment. Right now, I can drive to North Carolina in my car, pack up my shit, and start what do they make there? I don't know. What's North Carolina known for? And I can be a farmer and like try to start that up. You can really change whenever. So basically, in conclusion, iCarly shows so many cool parts about being someone online and making content and being a live streamer and being famous and being creative. And it was a super innovative and fun show. But in iCarly, they never showed the episodes where they're depressed for however many weeks. They can't think of ideas. They skipped the whole part where it took years of uploading. There was none of that on iCarly. They just were famous immediately. There was no 2 years of uploading to no one. We didn't see those episodes where they went live and that bitch says 0. The self-doubt, the outside criticism, the burnout, all that stuff is a part of content creation and creating art and creating a business and putting yourself out there. And a lot of times that's the price you got to pay to play in this arena. So yeah, this might have been a complete word salad, but I just thought that show was interesting. And even the reality of the actual actors and actresses on that show. I mean, shit, y'all saw, I don't know what documentaries came out. The abuse, those kids were getting abused and shit. What's her name? Jeanette McCartney, the blonde girl, Sam. What's her name? Jeanette McCurdy or something? She wrote that book, I'm Happy My Mom Died. We saw these child actors on screen. We didn't even know what was going on behind the scenes of their actual lives. It was some terrible shit. But when you see the thing through that lens, all you see is this, and that's all you have to go off of, and then you make judgments, but then you don't know the real person behind it. I'm going off on a complete fucking tangent at this point. But basically, if I could put a cherry on this, keep doing you. Put yourself out there, and the process a lot of the times won't be glamorous, but the feeling you get from when you do put your stuff out there and when you do show your art to the world or you do start that business, it's a delayed gratification feeling, but that type of dopamine, when you get it, when you put out that song and someone says, oh, this is the best song I ever heard. This is my favorite song. That feeling, you can't beat that shit. So go for it. Shout out iCarly. Shout out Freddie. What other shows do they fucking have? Victorious. What the fuck was Victorious about? I didn't think I watched that shit. True Jackson VP. And what the fuck was that one about? Don't know. Couldn't tell you.